Hello students, I welcome to all of you to this session of fluid machinery. Dear students, this is your lecture number 20. Last class we discussed about the Pelton wheel, velocity triangle and the related numerical was discussed, and some numerical as a homework it was given to you. I am very happy to see that most of the student you are submitting the assignment what I am giving. Dear student, today we are going to discuss about the homework which is given in the earlier class and two more numerical. Here basically we are going to discuss some numerical and radial flow reaction turbine. Okay, as you all know that last class we discussed about the impulse turbine, and there we have seen that tangential flow impulse turbine, what is the velocity triangle, work done, and how we can calculate a particular efficiency of a Pelton wheel, that we have seen. Now this is your reaction turbine, radial flow reaction turbine. You know, in case of reaction turbine we will be seen that there is two types of reaction turbine: radial flow reaction turbine, axial flow reaction turbine. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the some numerical based on the tangential flow impulse turbine, that is your Pelton wheel, and after that we will be discussing the radial flow reaction turbine. So let us start. Problem number 18.3, you can see the penstoke supplies water from a reservoir to the Pelton wheel with a gross height of 500 meter. So the head, gross head is given 500 meter. Okay, 1/3 of the gross head is lost, so automatically frictional head loss is given hg/3, because 1/3 of the gross head is lost in friction in the penstoke. The rate of flow of water through the nozzle fitted at the end of the penstoke is 2 meter cube per second. That means discharge given. Clear? So discharge given, hg given, hf you can find out, h net you can find out. H net is equal to what? H gross head minus hf. So ultimately this is your H net. Now discharge given 2 meter cube per second. What is asking? The angle of deflection of the jet 165 degree. Very important. Angle of deflection means your phi. If you want to find out phi, then 180 minus 165, that is your 15 degree. So the angle of deflection is given. Okay, in this figure you can see this one is your angle of deflection, this one. Okay, so how much the blade, how much it is deflecting, that is the angle of deflection. Now come to the next point. Determine the power given by the water to the runner and also hydraulic efficiency of the Pelton wheel. So you have to determine the power, how much power, okay, given by the water to the runner, that you have to calculate. Clear? Now take the speed ratio 0.45. speed ratio means, you know that if the speed ratio, I am just kv, I am denoting by kv, then speed ratio is u by root over 2gh cv root over 2gh. Okay, so the absolute velocity of the blade or vane by velocity, absolute velocity of the jet, that is your the water coming out from the nozzle, the water velocity coming out from the, and cv is given 1. Okay, so cv1 phi you can find out 0.4, your 15 degree, speed ratio 0.45, v1 you can find out cv root over 2gh, and here this h is nothing but the net height, so that is your 333.3 meter. Now you can easily find out v1. Now speed ratio, from speed ratio you can find out velocity of the wheel, so wheel velocity or speed ratio into root over 2gh. So ultimately the u is equal to 36 meter per second. Clear? Now what you have to find out? Power. Na? So power is equal to, first of all let us see what is the derivation of power. So the power basically is what? work done per second by 1000 in kilowatt you can get, and work done per second is what? Mass flow rate, that is your rho v1 into vw1 plus minus, as it is acute angle, it is beta is your acute angle, then we can say that it will be plus, so vw2 into u, that is your work done by 1000, that means in terms of kilowatt you will be getting. So let us discuss the velocity triangle. Last class we have discussed, so I am not discussing it anymore. Here total it is your vw1, this is your v1 again, this is your vr1, this one is your vu1. Okay, at the outlet you can see this one is your vr2, this one is your v2, this one is your vf2, this one is your vw2, and this one is your u2. Clear? Now you just to find out the work done per second, you have to know what is vw1 and what is vw2, and rest of the things it is already given, and u1 already you have found out from this equation. Clear? So how we can find out vw2? Vw2 is nothing but the v1. So vw2 is equal to v1, so that is your 80.86 meter per second. But to find out the vw2, you have to know, because vw2 is this mass and it is equal to total minus u2. So total vw2 is equal to what? vr2 cos phi minus u. Now vr2 is equal to vr1. Now vr1 is here basically v1 minus u1, that is your vr1. So put the value of vr1 and put the value of phi, you will be getting the answer. Here basically vr2 is equal to, you can see vr2 is equal to vr1 and vw2 is equal to vr2 cos phi minus u2. Clear? So ultimately vw2 is this. So put the value, you will be getting this much. Okay, and after dividing by 1000 you will be getting 6362.63 kilowatt. That is your answer. Anything else which is asking? Oh, hydraulic efficiency, very easy. Hydraulic efficiency is your, hydraulic efficiency means output by input. Output is what? Already I have found out the runner power by water power. So runner power, this is your, what you have got, this is your runner power, na? So, or any another one equation you can see, 2w vw1 plus vw2 into u by v1 square, that is also the hydraulic your equation of hydraulic efficiency. So all the value you have got, so put the value, you will be getting the answer 97.31%. Clear? Come to the next point. Next point, 18.4, Pelton wheel is having a mean bucket speed. So u is given, mean bucket diameter, diameter means your mean bucket diameter given, that is your 1 meter, and is running at 1000 rpm, that is your n is equal to 1000 rpm. The net height on the Pelton wheel is 700 meter. So height is given is 700 meter. If the side clearance angle is 15 degree, remember this side clearance angle, again one more point is coming into the picture. Side clearance angle means your phi. At the outlet, if the side clearance angle is 15 degree and the discharge through the nozzle is 0.1 meter cube per second, so discharge Q is given 0.1 meter cube per second. Find the power available at the nozzle, hydraulic efficiency of the turbine. So one more thing, either it will be given in terms of in terms of deflection, angle of deflection. So angle of deflection means this angle 165 degree, or it will be given the side clearance angle, that is also what, phi, or it is also called guide vane angle. Okay, you can see from the diagram, from the given data, you can see d given, n given, you can find out pi d n by 60, u is given, phi is given, discharge given. So v1 you can find out cv root over 2g is, put the value, simply you will be getting the answer. v1 is equal to 117.919 meter per second. Now power, power available at the nozzle by nozzle you have to calculate. So power available at the nozzle means what? That means at the nozzle, what is the power available? So first of all, that means you have to find out the water power. Water power is equal to W into H, and W is equal to mg H. So W is the weight of the water. Okay. So W is equal to mg H, and M is equal to rho into Q. M is equal to rho Q, rho into discharge. So rho into Q into G into H by 1000. That is the answer. 686.7 kilowatt. Is it clear? See, remember here it is asking that power available at the nozzle. Okay, that means in the nozzle what is the power available that means it is not asking after coming out from the water. That means at the inlet of the turbine blade what is the power available, that is your kinetic energy. Clear? Half mv square. But here it is your water power. What is that means in the reservoir what is the power available, that is the power available at the nozzle. Okay, clear? Now this is your answer number 1. Answer number 2 is your hydraulic efficiency. And hydraulic efficiency for the Pelton wheel, you know, hydraulic efficiency, another one equation you will be getting, you know that u1 v1 minus u into 1 plus cos phi by u into u. Again I am writing hydraulic efficiency is equal to what we know, 2 into v1 minus u into 1 plus cos phi into u by v1 square. So this is the hydraulic efficiency by theory. This is the theoretical value of the hydraulic efficiency. Remember, this is not the maximum. If you want to find out the maximum hydraulic efficiency of the Pelton, then it is your 1 plus cos phi by 2. Because if you are deriving this hydraulic efficiency with respect to this u, with respect to wheel speed, then you will be getting maximum hydraulic efficiency 1 plus cos phi. So in the velocity triangle we have discussed this one. So hydraulic efficiency ultimately put all the values, you will be getting 97.18% efficiency, hydraulic efficiency. Clear? Now come to the radial flow reaction turbine. Very important for your exam point of view, this radial flow reaction turbine, and the function and the main parts or components of the radial flow reaction. First of all, let us discuss what do you mean by radial flow reaction turbine. Okay, the radial flow reaction turbine are those turbine in which the water flows in radial direction. What does it mean? That means if a radial flow reaction turbine, let us consider this is a wheel. Okay, and this is your curved vane which is installed inside in the wheel. Now let us consider the water is coming here and it is coming out. Now this one is your center. Now radial flow reaction turbine are those turbine in which the water flows in the radial direction. Radial direction means the water is flowing radially. That means the water may flow radially from outward to inward, or it may flow from inward to outward. Okay, if it is flowing from outward to inward, okay, then it will be called inward radial flow reaction turbine. If it is flowing from inward to outward, okay, then it will be called outward radial flow reaction turbine. Again I am telling you, the water flow may flow radially from outward to inward. Outward to inward means from here to here. Clear? So outward to inward, it is clear. That is towards the axis of the rotation. Towards the axis of the rotation the water is flowing. Okay, or from inward to outward. Inward to outward means from inward to outward. If the water flows from outward to inward, this is the center. So outward to inward, okay, then if the water is flowing from outward to inward through the runner, okay, through the runner, then the turbine is known as inward radial flow reaction turbine. Clear? Now if the water is flowing from inward to outward through the runner, then it will be called outward radial flow reaction turbine. I think it is clear. Okay, now the reaction turbine means that the water at the inlet of the turbine possesses kinetic energy as well as pressure energy. That means at the inlet of the turbine, that means when the your water is entering into the turbine, okay, like this, if it is your reaction turbine, water is entering into the turbine, then energy available, not only kinetic energy but also pressure energy. In case of Pelton wheel, only kinetic energy available. That is why it is called your reaction turbine. So I think reaction turbine, what is reaction turbine, then that is clear. Okay, as the water as the water flows through the runner, okay, a part of pressure energy goes on changing into kinetic energy. That means whatever the pressure energy and that is basically pressure energy available at the inlet of the turbine, that is basically changing the as the kinetic energy. Okay, kinetic energy, মানে kinetic energy and pressure energy both are involved in at the inlet of the turbine. Now it is telling as the water from water basically flows through the runner, a part of pressure energy goes on changing into kinetic energy. Okay, thus the water through the runner is under pressure. That means whatever the water we are getting, that is coming under pressure. Okay, so it is not on, not the pressure and sorry, atmospheric pressure. It is some pressure is more than the atmospheric pressure what we are getting inside the casing. Okay, I am coming afterward what is the main components of the radial flow reaction turbine. I am coming afterward, but you just understand what is basically happening when the water is again I am drawing, when the water is, you see in this diagram, when the water is entering initially in the from the penstock, the water is entering into the casing, and initially there is pressure energy as well as kinetic energy. So at the inlet of the turbine, pressure energy and kinetic energy, and these pressure energies basically goes on increasing the, that means changing into kinetic energy, and this through this that means this spiral casing, the water is entering into the system, and as a whole we are getting the shaft work. Clear? So the runner is basically completely enclosed in an airtight casing. Okay, so this runner basically completely enclosed in an airtight casing, and casing and the runner is always full of water. There is not any kind of single air particle inside the casing, so it is full of water and it is airtight. Now come to the point, I think it is clear. Now come to the next point, that is your main parts of the radial flow reaction. Here you can see casing, guide mechanism, runner, and draft tube, all are the parts of the components of the radial flow reaction. Now one by one I am going to discuss here. So first of all, what is casing? See in this diagram, you can see in this diagram, this part is called casing. This is your spiral shape casing, this is your casing. Okay, now what is casing? That means the casing is, that means the water from the penstock enters into the casing. Okay, okay, the casing basically it is providing the what we can say safeguard, and it is directing the water, direction is given to the water through which through, that means through a that means some path is given and the water is entering into the your guide wheel, and this is your runner, and the runner is rotating, and the opposite side, in this opposite side of this runner, the water is coming out, and through the draft tube it is coming out. How it is happening, let us discuss. Basically the water from the penstock enters the casing. The water from the, this is your penstock. Penstock means it is basically connected to the barrage or reservoir, and the water, full of water, it is coming through full of water. This is your penstock, in penstock outlet, and this is the inlet of the casing. Okay, now what happened? The water from the penstock enters the casing, which is of spiral shape. That means the casing is basically shape is spiral shape. Spiral shape means, have you seen the DNA? So like this, the spiral shape, it is forming spiral shape. Okay, or sometime you have seen some stairs which is coming from outside wall of the of a building. Okay, so that is your spiral casing. Okay, spiral means your, it is the shape like a DNA. Okay, Now the water basically enters into the casing, which is of spiral shape, in which the area, cross sectional area of the casing is goes on decreasing. You can see here the area and here the area, it is basically goes on decreasing, clear? Okay, that means it is given some shape and direction to the water which is entering into the system, and ultimately we are getting some shaft work. So I think it is clear. Now next what I want to say, that basically the area of the casing is basically in decreasing order. Okay, the casing is completely surrounds the water. Okay, surrounds the, that means the casing, this is your casing, the casing is completely surrounds the runner. Okay, runner of the turbine, this is your runner, and it is completely surrounds the runner of the turbine. Okay, so as you can see in this picture, it is, the casing is basically made of concrete and cast iron. Okay, or plate steel. Okay, and it is basically providing the constant velocity and the guiding the water what is coming out into the casing, and through a confined space the water is coming out through a, by the help of a draft tube at the outlet. Okay, now come to the next point, that is your, you can see this is your next guide mechanism. So what is guide mechanism? So you can see in this figure again, this is your guide mechanism. What is guide mechanism? Let us discuss what is guide mechanism. Very important, the function of guide mechanism basically is, it consists of stationary circular wheel all around the runner of the turbine. Okay, basically the guide mechanism, what you are seeing, this is your guide mechanism. It consists of a stationary circular wheel all around the runner of the turbine. The stationary guide vane are fixed on the guide mechanism. Okay, so it is not moving part. Okay, it is basically fixed part, and it is basically guiding the water to enter into the runner. Okay, so it is fixed, and it is basically used to prevent the shock or pressure change, your pressure fluctuation which is coming, that means the one which is having in the water, and basically a smooth operation can be done by the help of this guide mechanism. Clear? I think it is clear. Basically the guide vane allows the water to strike the vanes fixed on the runner without shock at inlet. Okay, so also by a suitable arrangement, the width between the two adjacent vanes of the guide mechanism can be altered so that the amount of water striking in the runner can be varied. Okay, so I think it is clear. So this is your function of the guide mechanism. Now come to the next point, that is your runner. What is runner? This one is your runner. So what is the function of runner? It is a circular wheel on which a series of radial curved vanes are fixed. Okay, so series of radial curved vanes are fixed on the runner. Okay, the surface of the vanes are made by smooth, that means it is basically surface of the vanes are made, it is basically very smooth surface. Okay, surface of the vane, and the radial curved vane are so shaped that the water enters and leaves the runner without shock. That means there is not any kind of disturbance, any kind of vibration, any kind of shock will be there. It is basically enters and leaves without any shock. Okay, the runner are made of cast iron. Basically this runner, it is made by cast iron. Okay, or it may be made by cast steel also, or stainless steel, based on the budget and that means requirement. Okay, so basically they are key to the shaft, mane the runner is basically installed with the shaft, that means connected to the shaft, and as the runner is rotating, shaft is rotating. Now come to the last point of the lecture, that is your draft tube. Very important, and there will be some dedicated lecture on the draft tube. It is basically the draft tube, basically it is used to produce the it used to produce the velocity head, pressure head with the expense of velocity head. That means at the outlet of the turbine, what we will see that the pressure the pressure at the outlet of the turbine is basically you will be getting vacuum pressure. So as the vacuum pressure you will get, so the water particle, it will not be coming out from the outlet of the turbine, as the atmosphere, it is less than the atmospheric pressure. Okay, less than the atmospheric pressure, less than the atmospheric pressure. So that is why this vacuum pressure should be developed. That means, this vacuum pressure should be overcome. That means some pressure should be developed there to overcome this atmospheric pressure. That means whatever the pressure at the outlet of the turbine, that should be greater than atmospheric pressure. So the function of the draft tube is this. Okay, and also it is increasing the head, as a total head it is increasing. Okay, so basically the pressure at the exit of the runner of a reaction turbine is generally less than the atmospheric pressure, as I told you. Now the water at exit cannot directly discharge to the tail race. Okay, so it cannot be directly discharged to the tail race, as it is written here. You can see directly discharged to the tail race. Okay, a tube of pipe, that means like this shape, conical shape. Okay, it may be some conical shape, like maybe some elbow shape, like this. Okay, basically a tube or pipe of gradually increasing area. You can see the increasing area is used, gradually increasing area is used for discharging water from the exit of the turbine to the tail race. Okay, and this tube is of increasing area is called your draft tube. So in the next class we will be discussing what is draft tube, what is the theory of draft tube, whether the pressure is increasing or not. Okay, that means ultimately the function of the draft tube is to increase the pressure head with the expense of that velocity head. You know that at the outlet of the turbine, the velocity is basically, it will be wasting of energy. So that energy will be taken into consideration, and pressure energy will be that energy will be converted into pressure energy. So that is the function of the draft tube. So today up to this, I hope the lecture this lecture will be very helpful for you. And don't forget to submit this assignment. This all the lecture what I have discussed, that is your assignment. Okay, submit to it to my official mail dhiraj.mondal @jscollege.ac.in, and also submit as your, don't forget to write done once you have complete the your lecture, you have finished the lecture. That is your attendance, as I told you earlier. Thank you for